This is the Richard Smith Show, where we talk about all things Kansas City Chiefs. How are we doing, Chiefs Kingdom? It is Sunday, February 3rd at 7:34 a.m. Last night, Patrick Mahomes was named the FedEx Player of the Year. It comes to no surprise to anybody. Just going to play a little clip here of Pat Mahomes when we drafted him.
Here's former Texas Tech quarterback Pat Mahomes. Now, Pat, I know for Chiefs fans at least, they're in Big 12 country. They've had a chance to watch you play, but for anyone that hasn't seen you play before, just how would you describe yourself today?
Yeah, I'm going to fight for everything. No matter what the score is, we're up, we're down, I'm going to go out there and fight. I'm going to put it in people's hands, let the playmakers make the plays, and that's my job as a quarterback.
Sell-out blitz. Mahomes trying to keep it a drive. He's looking to the left side. He throws it left-handed to Tyreek Hill, and he'll miss the catch. A first down, 3rd and 5.
For anyone who doesn't really know about you, if you had to put your life story in like 60 seconds and just who you are, how would you do that?
Started off, I grew up, my dad was a professional baseball player, so I've always been around professional sports. And I played all the sports growing up and got to college, played baseball and football, and gave up baseball. And now I'm all in on football, and I'm excited for what the future holds.
Mahomes with Mahomes magic.
With your dad being a former major league player, just what did you learn from him as far as that? What might help you with this transition as you're moving on to the next level?
Definitely work ethic. Just seeing professional athletes, not just my dad, my godfather, LaTroy Hawkins, guys that had success in the Major League Baseball. You see how hard they work and how they really grind to be where they are.
Well, I saw some practice video of you throwing some no-look passes. Is that just for fun, or is that something?
I think it came from my basketball history and playing point guard in basketball. I kind of had that no-look pass, and as I started getting more comfortable with the system and with the college football, I started doing it a little bit of practice. I think I did it once in the game. I'll probably hold it off on that with NFL until I hopefully have a long career.
That you will not see again anywhere this year, I promise.
I saw that you got a second-round grade from the advisory committee when you decided to come out. Is that where you expect to go, or do you not think about that kind of thing?
I try not to think about it a lot. The dream is to go first round, but for me, it's not necessarily about getting picked at the highest points, but getting picked to the right team. So wherever that point is, I get picked and get put in the right system with the right coaches. I feel like I can really excel and have a great career.
It's caught by DeMarcus Robinson, backpedaling into the end zone. Touchdown, Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes now has hit 5,000 yards passing and 50 touchdowns.
I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit now, but just what do you know about the Kansas City Chiefs organization?
They really develop talent, especially quarterbacks. Andy Reid, Donovan McNabb, and Alex Smith. Now he really develops quarterbacks well, so I know it's a great organization.
All right, now if the Kansas City Chiefs were to select you, what are you fans of that organization? What do you want Chiefs Kingdom to know about you?
I want them to know that I'm going to work hard day one. I'm going to work as if I was the starter day one, but I know Alex is there, and he's going to be a great quarterback, and he has a great future, and I'm going to work hard and be ready for my chance.
All right, Kansas City. That was the interview before we drafted Patrick Mahomes. I believe that was at the scouting event for quarterbacks, the Combine, I believe. So Patrick Mahomes has really lived up to what he said he would do. He's lived up to all the hype, and he's surpassed all expectations that anybody could have ever had for him. This was hands down a groundbreaking year in the NFL at the quarterback position. When the second leading runner of the MVP category has 16 less touchdowns than the MVP, that right there, folks, is legendary status. But let me just tell you something. I want to tell you a little bit about Patrick Mahomes' season this year, in the 2018 and 2019 season. And this in 1 year, Chiefs Kingdom, looks like a Hall of Fame resume. This resume that Patrick Mahomes has accumulated through 1 year is Dan Marino-esque. So let's just hear this. Patrick Mahomes, year one as starter, Player of the Year award presented by FedEx, Offensive Player of the Year, MVP, Pro Bowl selection, MVP of the Pro Bowl, third player in NFL history with at least 50 touchdowns, first quarterback to throw 50 touchdowns and 5,000 yards in his first full season, and also helped Tyreek Hill break the franchise record for receiving yards, helped Travis Kelce break the all-time record for tight end receiving yards in one season. So was it a secret that Patrick Mahomes won the MVP in all of these awards? Absolutely not. And for all of you that missed the ceremony, Paul Rudd, a Kansas City native, huge Kansas City Chiefs fan, announced that Patrick Mahomes won the Most Valuable Player award for the NFL. And here it is.
One thing I always tell the new guys, Saquon, football's a mental game.
1835.
Hey, how do you do that tap thing again? Oh, you just tap to pay. Mental game.
Now you can tap to pay with Visa. Visa, everywhere you want to be.
Here to present Most Valuable Player, Paul Rudd.
You know, they say that time heals all wounds. I'm a Chiefs fan.
Yeah.
And I can tell you that 2 weeks is not enough time. But Chiefs fans, we know pain. I see Andrew Luck is here. Hey, Andrew. Hey, man, remember when you recovered your own fumble in the end zone and you beat the Chiefs in the playoffs? Me too. So does my son, because he cried himself to sleep that night. But way to go on your award tonight. What about Marcus Mariota? Is he here? No? Good. And to those New England Patriots. Oh, relax, they're all asleep. My sweet, perfect 9-year-old daughter drew this for me 2 weeks ago before the championship game. A few hours later, she came to me and she said, "Daddy, why does God hate the Chiefs?" And I told her, "Sweetheart, no. God doesn't hate the Chiefs. God hates me." But we're not here to talk about villains. No, tonight we are here to celebrate heroes. And these guys are most definitely heroes. Here are the contenders for the Most Valuable Player.
Drew Brees is 39 years old, playing his best football ever. The most accurate quarterback in the NFL. Dives over, touchdown, and the Saints have won it. Todd Gurley, best three-down back in football. Todd Gurley with a burst. Todd Gurley does it again.
He's the complete package.
This is officially the Mahomes era. Diving for the far front pylon. Touchdown!
5,000 yards, 50 touchdowns.
All right, now you might think I'm a little biased, but I take my job as a presenter very seriously. I will show no favoritism. I am here to honor excellence. And the 2018 AP Most Valuable Player is Patrick Mahomes!
Exactly. There you have it, Kansas City. The Patrick Mahomes era has officially started in Kansas City, and season 1 is under our belt. And who would have thought that Patrick Mahomes would have done everything that he has done as a first-year starter in the NFL? I mean, come on, Kansas City. Did you expect the man to throw 50 touchdowns? Did you expect the man to throw for over 5,000 yards? Did you expect him to become the MVP of the league, the offensive player of the league, Pro Bowl selection, MVP Pro Bowl, MVP of Pro Bowl? Come on, Kansas City. The future looks great. If you're a hater of the Chiefs, of course you're going to hate on Patrick Mahomes. But everybody else, you can't help but love the kid. You can't help but love the kid. Next 10 years are going to be amazing. But let's talk about the Chiefs presently. The Bob Sutton era has ended. I think everyone in Chiefs Kingdom can agree that was long overdue. Now, to bring in Spagnuolo was a great acquisition. I think he'll fit in very well with the Chiefs. The Chiefs are a very well-rounded team. We lack on defense. We still have a lot of great qualities that come out of our defense. So I think that Steve Spagnuolo, whatever his first name is, I don't even know if that's it. But I think he's going to be a great fit. Because here's the thing about the Chiefs' defense. We don't need a miracle. We just need it to get a little bit better. And he's more of an aggressive style coach than Bob Sutton. So I look at this as a great move for Kansas City. I look at our offense, and it's locked in right now. And I don't know if anybody's heard in Chiefs Kingdom that we did sign Damien Williams. To a 2-year deal worth $8.1 million. And if you don't know anything about Damien Williams, he was a highly sought-after running back out of college from Oklahoma, and he played 4 years in Miami. And Miami let him go due to production. He wasn't producing. But look, that system down there, I think we all know, has some screws loose. But since the loss to Spencer Ware in Week 14 against Baltimore, Williams has averaged 95 all-purpose yards per game. That obviously was good enough to land him a 2-year deal. And look, Kansas City, if we can get a cheap running back who's producing at least 100 yards all-purpose, I don't care if he just rushes for 80 yards a game. That's all we need, Kansas City. That's all we need. That's all we need. The Le'Veon Bell, controversy. Should he come to Kansas City? Should Kansas City pick him up? Should we be in the running for a Le'Veon Bell? Absolutely not. That would be a cap casualty and would ruin a scenario that we have set up to keep all of our core players on our offense. The Kareem Hunt deal, look, that saved our cap casualty. If you think in any way that if in the next 3 years that we could keep Mahomes, Kelsey, Hill, and Hunt, you all are sadly mistaken. Those are big, high-profile players. Our core three, that is all we need to care about. All we need to care about. And we have Sammy Watkins locked in. And I know he really didn't do a whole lot, but he did enough, Kansas City. He did enough, and he stepped up in the playoffs. I'll argue that all day long. He stepped up in the playoffs. Kelvin Benjamin, bust. 2 receptions, 26 yards. Look, that was a shot in the dark. We're going to move on from him. We put him out the door like we put Bob Sutton out the door. Hey, get him out of there. We don't care. We don't care. On to next season. Now, since we have a core on offense and we have inked in Damien Williams, we have our whole offense set. I don't think there's much to switch up on the offensive line. We might do a little bit here and there. We need a better center, even though I can't remember his name. I don't know why I can't remember his name. Was it Schwartz who stepped up to play center and did a great job? We got a great offense. So now we focus on defense. That's all we need to focus on. And with the aggressive Spagnuolo as our defensive coordinator and plenty of cap room, our defense will be great. The Chiefs' front office worked miracles to set the franchise up to be top tier for years to come. And I got to say that. Think about what we're doing here, okay? So we have our offense locked in for at least 3 years. Now we got a running back at a cheap cost. We've got 2 of the best players in the NFL under rookie contracts, okay? So for the next 3 years, we're all right. So that's how we work on defense. Do we re-sign D Ford? Absolutely. Do I think we let Eric Berry go? Gosh, Chiefs Kingdom, that's a toss-up to me. Eric Berry has a special place in my heart, and I think he is one of the best Chiefs to ever put on a football uniform. But at the end of the day, this is a business. I mean, we can't keep holding out on Eric Berry. He's going to have surgery again to remove a bone spur that has grown forming around his Achilles. Look, first and foremost, we want to win a Super Bowl. Having Eric Berry back, God, I think that helps any franchise in the locker room. On the field now, I can't say that, Kansas City. So what do? When we love a player like that, do we ship him off? Or do we keep him, over good faith for everything he's done for our franchise? Look, the Colts shipped off Peyton Manning. Do we really need to hold on to Eric Berry? I think it's time that we cut ties. What really can we get out of him anymore? Is he worth what we're paying him? As a coach, absolutely. Do I think that he has a future in the franchise of Kansas City as a coach? I sure hope so. I hope that we would pick him up for our coaching staff before anybody. He's going to be a great coach. Your career's over, Eric. Let us move on. We need help on the defense, and we're in the best position in franchise history to step our defense up and make it top tier. But to do that, I think we got to cut ties with Eric. We got a great linebacking core. We got a great defensive line. Our secondary is terrible. Terrible. If we could work on the left side of the defensive line and the secondary, we'll be great. Kansas City will have no problems. None at all. Eric, you got to go, buddy. And I'm sorry, Chiefs Kingdom, you might not agree with me on this. But it's time to get some young legs. Skandrick, gotta go. He's too old. We're old in our defensive secondary. Yes, we have some young talent who stepped up, but they made our old talent look even worse than they already did. That's hard to do. But it's time, Kansas City. Let's move on from the Eric Berry era, and let's see where it will take us. And with that being said, players down to the end of their career, the Hall of Fame class. Hey, this is an interesting Hall of Fame class, and I really like it compared to last year. Last year was awesome, all those huge names, all those big-time receivers. This year, I'm only going to mention the 3 Kansas City Chiefs. How about that? 3 Kansas City Chiefs going into the Hall of Fame. And 2 of those Kansas City Chiefs, extremely famous. One being Tony Gonzalez, might be the best Chief in Chiefs history. Johnny Robertson, cornerback. Look, Johnny Robertson was a stud. Johnny Robertson played before most of us were even born. But the man will always be remembered in the NFL. He'll always be remembered in the NFL. Great player. Ty Law. I know we all remember Ty Law. He played a couple seasons with the Kansas City Chiefs. He had a great career, New England Patriots. I believe he played on the Jets, the Chiefs, and Miami maybe. Played on a few different teams. But he played 2 great years on the other side of Patrick Surtain in Kansas City. That was one of the best Chiefs defensive secondaries that we ever had before. It was fun watching him. So I absolutely would include him in the list of Kansas City Chiefs. So 3 Chiefs are going into the Hall of Fame. What better way to end one of the best seasons that we've ever had in Chiefs Kingdom and start one of the greatest dynasties that could ever take place in the NFL than to induct our own Tony Gonzalez into the NFL. Congratulations. You deserve it. I wish we could have got you a ring. I wish we could have got you a ring down in Atlanta with Matt Ryan. You came close, but you had an amazing career, and this is highly deserved. So, moving on in this broadcast, with everything that we've talked about, look, we've covered the offense, we've covered the defense, we've covered Bob Sutton, we've covered the Hall of Fame, we've covered Patrick Mahomes and all his awards, we've covered everything that has happened with Cheetah breaking records and Kelsey breaking records. We've covered the Hunt issue. We've covered Damien Williams being re-signed. We've covered a lot of information in this broadcast. A lot of information. Now, there's not too many people out there interested in the Super Bowl. I am not. I'm sure most of you are not. I don't know if you've seen the ratings for how interested people are actually in the Super Bowl, but the list of people who say they won't watch the Super Bowl is way, way bigger than the list of people who are siding either with the Rams or the Patriots. It's almost like 80% of the NFL fan base wants nothing to do with the Super Bowl. To me, it was very, very clear who the NFL wanted in the Super Bowl. You know, bigger money markets. Well, how did that work out for you, NFL? See, we have this guy by the name of Patrick Mahomes who just happens to be football Jesus right now. Might be one of the most entertaining players on the planet. But the NFL wanted Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. That's all right. Our time's coming, Kansas City, and we all know it is. Keep your head up. Let's look forward to this next season. Hey, the sky's the limit. Patrick Mahomes will only get better, Kansas City. Hey, the Cheetah will only get better. Travis Kelce will only get better. Our defense will only get better. Andy Reid will only get better. Brett Veach is a young guy. That guy is going to be our GM for years to come. Look, we are in the best scenario ever in Kansas City. Soak it up. Who cares that we lost that championship game? Honestly, who cares? That's year one. I don't think there should be any disappointed fans out there. All you should have is optimism for the future. We made home field advantage in the AFC championship game with a first-year quarterback. 50 touchdowns, 5,000 yards. MVP. Come on, Kansas City. We got a lot of great football ahead. I don't think we should be worried about a thing. So as for me, I'm going to go into the offseason. I'm going to be excited about all these acquisitions. Be excited about the draft. Our draft history is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. All of you know it. You look at the last 5 years of the draft. I mean, it is no secret that we've pulled diamonds out of the draft. And later rounds, we're moving up. We're making moves to make sure we lock in the talent that we absolutely need. So next year, defense, here we go, Kansas City, get ready for this. You think we were good this year? Wait till next year. As for that, I'm going to sign off for this week. This is the Richard Smith Show, where we talk about all things Kansas City Chiefs.